Here is Trump campaign spokesperson Caroline Leavitt. They have to split this difference. They have to split this difference because they don't want to be too explicit, particularly on like video about IVF stuff, because the fundamentalist activists know what's involved here. Now, they also know, because you can lie for the Lord, that's okay. Yes. And Donald Trump is just a messenger. He's not the message for these people. But even still, they've got to tiptoe through this. They did not want this ruling to happen now. This is something that they're saving for 2025 if Trump wins.
Would he sign a national law of some sort, making sure folks have access to IVF?
I won't get ahead of him on that. Certainly, he supports the ability of parents and families to conceive through IVF and to bring life into this world.
But you will not say if he would pass a law to make sure everybody has access to that.
He hasn't said that.
Does he think an embryo is a child?
I will not get ahead of the president on that either. I'll let him speak on that specific moral issue on this front.
Would he...
Pause it for a second. Let's be clear. Whether an embryo is a child is not a moral issue, or to the extent that it is, I don't care. The question is it going to be a legal issue? And they are worried about this because this is the question that needs to be asked. This is why Trump's spokesperson won't answer this question. That needs to be asked at every single Republican who gets up there. How can you allow IVF, which necessarily means that these fertilized eggs, these embryos, or near embryos, are going to be thrown away? How can you allow that if you say that an embryo has all the rights of a person? That's the question that they need to be asked. And I don't know why they're, good for her for asking that question, but of course it's a spokesperson, so.
I mean, she doesn't say anything, but like they've lost all of their credibility on this topic, if they had any to begin with. Like, they're worried about those suburban women, as Brett Baer was saying. When you say that we are going to leave abortion up to the states after the overturning of Roe v. Wade, and then the presidential candidate proposes a 16-week ban, as Trump did, you're already burning that credibility because that's a federal ban. And then we're supposed to trust you that you're not going to go after IVF, especially when you won't commit to national legislation on this front. I mean, they're terrified of how this plays, so they're running to lie. But this is not a Democratic Supreme Court in Alabama that overturned this. It's the Republican Party. So they can't have by definition, they can't have a coherent message on this because they're lying, and there's just too many actual true believers that they're making it clear. Right? Yep.
This is the catching of the car situation, and the dog's trying to get the bumper out of his mouth at that point.